Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to look at how to do unit conversions. So let's get started. And basically, unit conversion is something everybody need to know how to do, especially if your major is in engineering or scientific field. This is something there's no way to avoid, basically. Okay, to do any unit conversion, you just need to know two things. One is the unit conversion method. The other one is the conversion factor, the relation between two units that you want to do conversion with. For example, if you want to convert from foot to inch, you have to know 1 foot equals 12 inches, right? So this unit conversion factors can be found on the internet very easily. So that's not a problem. So let's focus on the method. And the method we are going to do today in this video is called dimensional analysis method. And this is very intuitive method actually. Now let's look at the structure of this method. So to use dimensional analysis method, first you always start with the given unit. So I'm going to write down this structure. You start with given unit. Then after that, you will multiply a fraction. And this fraction actually is called a conversion factor, which is just a relation between the two units you want to do a conversion with. So the goal is to cancel this given unit so that you only have the unit that you want left. So for that reason, we want to put this same given unit on the bottom. So you can see these two will cancel. Then we put the unit we want on the top, and we call it desired unit. Now this way, no matter what number is given, and if this structure is right, and you're going to get the right answer. So focus is on the structure. So these two canceled, you get what you wanted. Now let's do a demonstration using this example right here, example 1. We want to convert 4.3 feet into inches. Always pay attention to this rounding requirement. In this case, we want to round it to the 10th place. So anything th means it is part of decimal part. 10th means the first decimal digit. So our answer should have 1 decimal digit. Now, using this structure, we start with the given unit, which is 4.3 feet. So unit is a foot. So let's do it from here. These are conversion factors just for your convenience. So we start with 4.3 feet. Now, since we are given feet, we want to cancel feet when we multiply this fraction. So this is feet on the bottom. And I put the one I want on the top, which is inch. Now you can see, regardless of the numbers given, even if you're given different number, you still have the same structure. So structure is important. Structure remains the same. Number can be any number. So now after you have this structure correctly set up, now you need to relate these two units together using something that is factual. In this case, 1 foot equals 12 inches. So foot canceled, we multiply everything on the top divided by the number on the bottom. So 4.3 times 12 divided by 1. Now let me get my calculator. So basically we just do 4.3 times 12 because dividing by 1 doesn't make any difference. 4.3 times 12. So we get 51.6 and many zeros. And my calculator display all of digits, no matter it's divided evenly or not, but we want to have 1 decimal digit, which is this. So the one to the right is 0, so it's truncated because it's smaller than 5. So our final answer is 51.6, and don't forget the unit. So that means 4.3 feet is equivalent to 51.6 inches. So we finished our first example. Now let's look at the second one. So second one, if this is the face-to-face class, and this question actually is for students to do the exercise. Now we do all of this as examples. This one is that we convert 36 inches to feet, so backwards. And it doesn't matter from which unit to which unit. After you look at some of the examples and exercise problems, you will realize it doesn't matter what unit you convert to what other unit. It's all about that structure. As long as your structure is right, you plug in the right number, your calculation is right, everything is right. So let's do that. We start with 36 inches. Again, we are doing this exercise to practice using that structure. Actually, many people already know this answer because it's such a nice number, right? Now we multiply this given one by a fraction. We want to cancel inch, so inch on the bottom. These two are always the same. We want to have feet, so feet on the other side. Now relate them together, 1 foot, 12 inches. So this time 12 is on the bottom. So in the fraction, the number on the top is called a numerator. Everybody knows that, but it has another name. Numerator is also called multiplier. That's why you multiply the numbers on the top. The number on the bottom is called a denominator. Again, it has another name. It's called divisor. You divide by the divisor to make sense, right? So multiply, divide. So 36 times 1 still 36. 36 divided by 12, that's 3. So 36 inches is equivalent to 3 feet. And you already know that. Next one. So let's look at this next one. How many miles are in 13,200 feet? So we are converting miles to feet. User should have 2 decimal digits. Okay. Now we start with 13,200 feet. So since we convert to miles, we want to cancel feet. So put feet on the bottom. This is always the same. And miles on the top. Now we need to have the relation between these two, the conversion factor. And if we look at the previous page, 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. So 1 mile, 5,280. So just like the previous one, multiply the numbers on the top, divide by the number on the bottom. So I'm going to use my calculator. 13,200 divided by 5,280. I got the 2.50 many zeros. So the rest are zeros. I actually divided evenly. Since we are required to have 2 decimal digits, I'm going to stop here. This is our final answer. 2.5 miles. So 13,200 feet is the same as 2.5 miles. Now another one. How many feet are in 2.2 miles? So again, you can see compare this two. It's just for students to do exercise. From a mile to feet, from feet to mile. It's just backwards. Actually, my purpose of doing this kind of problem is that after you do enough of this, you realize no matter which direction you do the conversion, and the method you do it is the same. That's all you need to know when you learn unit conversion. You can do any conversion actually. So we have 2.25 miles given. So notice that 2.25 just a little bit smaller than 2.5, right? We expect to get a number a little bit smaller than this, maybe 10% smaller than that, maybe 11,000 something. That's my wild guess. Maybe 12,000, but close to something close to that. So now this time we want to cancel mile, we want to get feet. Again, the same conversion factor here. 1 mile, 5,280 feet. Mile canceled, we only get feet left. Now we multiply the number on the top, divide by 1. So we just multiply them together. 2.25 times 5,280 equals, say, 11,880. your answer round to the whole number. This is going to be fit. So this one, it says round to two, you need to have 2 decimal digits. This one we round to the whole number. This is this exercise problem, I created those problems by requiring to run it to different places. Not only you learn how to do conversions, you also learn how to do roundings to different places so that you don't make a mistake when you do your homework. Now another one, 118 inches equals to how many yards? Round to the nearest 100th place. 100th place represents the second decimal digit. And I'm going to do this twice actually. And if you know the direct relation between inch and yard, and you can do conversion in one step. And if you don't know how many inches are in 1 yard, you can do it in 2 steps. For example, you can go from inch to foot, then from a foot to yards. So let's do that. First, let's say, pretending that we know 1 yard equals 36 inches. So you can see from this table here, 1 yard equals 36 inches. So let's do that. This is method 1. Method 1, we start with 118 inches. We want to cancel inch, and we want to get yards. So 1 yard equals 36 inches. Multiply, divide. So 118 multiplied by 1 divided by 36. So basically just 118 divided by 36. 118 divided by 36. We get 3.27, many sevens, 7, 7, and so on. And since we are required to round it to the 100th place, so the second decimal digit, then to do the rounding, we look at the digits immediately to the right. If there's a digit to the right is a 5 or bigger than 5, we round it up. If it is smaller than 5, we just simply truncate it and we don't do rounding. So in this case, we get 3.28 yards. So that's a final answer. That's our final answer. Now let's use the second method, pretending we don't know 1 yard equals 36 inches, so that we will go from inch to foot and then from foot to yard. So method 2. So pay attention to the structure. So 118, we start from here. Now since I want to go from inch to foot, I want to cancel inch to put foot on the top. Now, before we do calculation, just look at the structure. After this step, inch is canceled, no more inch. So only thing left is foot. Now we need to cancel foot. How do we do that? Whenever you do a conversion from one unit to the other one, you need another fraction. So we just multiply another fraction. Since this is foot on the top, in order to cancel that, and I need another one at the bottom. Now the counterpart is yard. Now imagine again, after this step, foot cancel. So this whole thing only has yard left, and that's what we wanted. Now plug in numbers. 1 foot, 12 inches, 1 yard, 3 feet. Now the last step, let's do the calculation. 118 times 1 times 1 on the top, still 118. On the bottom, 12 times 3 is 36. So apparently we get the same number, 3.28 yards. You see, we get exact same answer. What's the conclusion here? The conclusion is that if you don't know, or you don't have to know the conversion factor between 2 given units, as long as you can connect this together through some middle steps, that's totally fine. In this case, this foot is like a middleman. Connect inch to yards. It's like a middleman. It's okay, no matter how many middle steps. As long as you can connect them together, eventually you will get it right. Okay, let's move on to the next one. And this after this one, we're going to look at little bit different problems. So let's finish this one. The length of a rectangle is 2.4 yards. So we start with 2.4 yards. And how long is it in inch? Round to the whole number. So we convert yard to inch. We cancel yards, and we get inch. So we know 1 yard 36 inches. So we do it in one step this time. So basically, we just multiply 2.4 by 36. 2.4 times 36. 86.4. The rest is zeros. Round to the whole number. So that's 86 because 4 is smaller than 5. We truncate it. We round to this digit because this is the first digit in the whole number. So 86 inches. That's our final answer. Next one, we have a new table here. You notice that in this table, all of these conversion factors are between two different systems. The first column, this is the American system. We also call it the customary system. And the second column apparently is metric system. And these are the conversion factors. Again, if you don't have this when you do your homework problem, you can always look it up from the internet. They are very readily available. Now, let's do this example below. Example, Jack is 5 foot 10 inches tall. What is his height in centimeters? Round to the whole number. Basically, we want to convert this to centimeters. Apparently, this is an American system. This is a metric system. We look at the conversion table. We notice that this is the closest one for this particular problem, from inch to centimeters. So in other words, we need to convert this one to inch before we convert it to centimeters, because this relation only is between inch and centimeters. There's no foot in it. So that means we need to convert this 5 foot 10 inches to inches only. Everybody can do that. 5 foot is 60 inches. 60 plus 10, that's totally 70 inches. So 5 foot 10 inches is the same as 70 inches. Now we can convert from inch to centimeters. So again, the method remains the same. Put these two together so that they can cancel, and centimeters on the other side. Now, according to this conversion factor, 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. So now all we need to do is multiply these two together. 70 times 2.54 equals 177.8. Since we need to round to the whole number, we only need to write down the first decimal digit, because we round it to this digit, we just need one more to the right. So round it up because it's bigger than 5, 178 centimeters. So 70 inches is approximately, because we rounded, 178 centimeters. So another one. The high-speed train from Beijing to Shanghai is 350 kilometers per hour. What is the speed in miles per hour? So we want to convert the speed from kilometers per hour to miles per hour and round to the 10th place. Let's say if we have, we do have this conversions between mile and kilometers. So 1 mile equals 1.6 kilometers. So we only need to convert from kilometers to mile, because per hour are the same. We don't need to convert the time. By the way, this number is like a real number, and this is not something like just a randomly written number. Okay, now let's do that. We start with 350 kilometers. We turn kilometers to mile, so we just need to cancel kilometer. Again, these two are always the same, and mile. From that table, 1 mile equals 1.6 kilometers. 1 mile, 1.6 kilometers. So all we need 350 times 1 divided by 1.6 and round it to the 10th place. 350 divided by 1.6, 218.75. Enough because we need to round it to the 10th place. We just need one more digit to the right. This is the 5, we round it up. Anything 5 or above 5, you round it up. Anything below 5, we truncate it. So the final answer is 218.8 miles per hour. Don't forget the unit. So that's our final answer. So I guess most of you already realize this conversion process is very simple actually. Now we have something new. This time we do conversions using unit for areas and volumes. And again, the whole point is that it doesn't matter what kind of unit you do conversion with. The method always the same. Okay, let's look at this. The area of a classroom floor is 525 square feet. What is the area measured in square yards? So whenever we talk about area, the unit will have square, like square miles for the size of country, nation, and square, say, square yards for a playground, for example, square foot for a classroom floor, and where it is appropriate, the size of unit, but they all have a square. Square represent area unit. Okay, now the area of a class floor is 525 square feet. Now we want to convert it to square yards. So now don't forget, don't separate this 2 and the foot. It's not 2 parts. This is 1 unit. This is like 1 unit. So now I need to cancel this unit and to get square yards. And then we are looking for the relation between these two. And in here, 1 square yards equals 9 square feet. So that's why yard is not the same as square yard. They're very different. So 1 square yard equals 9 square feet. 525 is cancelled. 525 times 1 divided by 9. That gives you square yards. 525 divided by 9, 58.33 minus 3. Say we need 10th place, so we just take 2 so that we can round it to the first digit, which is 10th place. 58.3 square yards. So we finished the first one. Now let's look at the second one. This is still about area. A farmer plans to use 2,500 acres of his land to grow corn this spring. What is the area if measured in square miles, round to the 100th place? So basically, acres represent the area, right? When it comes to the land, we use acres. We want to convert from 2,500 acres to square miles. 2,500 acres. So we want to cancel acres. We want to have square miles. Now all we need is conversion factor between these two. If we look at it again, 1 square mile equals 640 acres. 1 square mile equals 640 acres. So since the 640 on the bottom, we divide by this number. So 2,500 divided by 640. 2,500 divided by 640. 3.906. Since we need 100th place, we just need 3 decimal digits because 100th place is the second decimal digit. That's why we only need to have 1 to round it. This one is about 5 rounded up. So 3.91 square miles. That's our final answer. See, pretty easy. They are all the same in terms of setup, the structure. They are all the same. Okay, and the last tool for this video is about a volume conversions. Given that 1 cubic yards equals 27 cubic feet. So volume represents 2 dimensions. And how many cubic yards are in 1,000 cubic feet? So we are given cubic feet. And we want to convert cubic yards. So we need to cancel cubic feet. This whole thing is 1 unit. And we need to get cubic yards. Now all we need is the relation between these two, which is given here. So 1 cubic yard, 27 cubic feet. After we do this calculation, we need 1 decimal digit. So let's do that. 1,000 divided by 27. 37.03. I stop here because we only need 1 decimal digit. That's why I just use 2 to round it. This is if we want to round to. This is smaller than 5, it's truncated. So 37.0 cubic yards. If you write 37 cubic yards, that would be wrong. That would be wrong. And because requirement is round to the 10th place, you have to have a digit to occupy that place that you round to. Last one, given that 1 centimeter cube equals 1,000 millimeter cube, how many cubic millimeters are in 2.53 cubic centimeters? So 2.53 centimeters cube is given. So 2.53 centimeter cube is given. We want to convert it to how many cubic millimeters. So we need millimeters cube. So we need to cancel centimeter cube. We need to get millimeter cube. The relation is given. One of this, make sure you write the number in the right place. 1 of centimeter cube equals 1,000 millimeter cube. So since 1,000 is on the top, we multiply them together. Anything multiplied by 1,000 is equivalent to that you move decimal point to the right 3 places. So the result is 2,530. This is the exact number. So it says round it to the whole number if necessary. This is not necessary. We get whole number directly. So this is millimeter cube. Yeah, that's the end of our first video. And see you guys in the next video.